The Great Fire of London stands as one of the most devastating fires in human history, leaving an indelible mark on the city and its inhabitants. The fire erupted in the early hours of September 2, 1666, in a bakery on Pudding Lane. Fueled by strong winds and dry weather, the flames quickly engulfed the wooden structures that dominated the cityscape. The fire spread rapidly throughout London due to the narrow streets and closely packed houses, which provided the perfect conditions for the blaze to leap from building to building. The city's densely populated neighborhoods, predominantly constructed with timber and thatched roofs, proved to be highly vulnerable to the raging inferno. The flames leaped across rooftops, consuming everything in their path. The damage caused by the fire was extensive. Approximately 87 churches, including the iconic St. Paul's Cathedral, were reduced to ruins. The homes of approximately 70,000 of London's residents were destroyed, leaving them displaced and homeless. The fire also consumed important landmarks such as the Royal Exchange, the Guildhall, and numerous warehouses along the River Thames. In total, it is estimated that the fire razed around 13,200 houses and countless businesses. As news of the fire spread, panic gripped the city. Efforts to control and extinguish the fire initially proved futile, as the lack of an organized firefighting system and limited resources hampered the response. The existing firefighting methods of the time, which relied on manual labor, buckets of water, and basic firefighting equipment, were insufficient in the face of such a colossal blaze. However, the combined efforts of London's citizens, including volunteers, soldiers, and even King Charles II himself, played a crucial role in bringing the fire under control. People formed human chains to pass buckets of water from nearby sources, while others used primitive firefighting equipment, such as leather buckets and hand-operated fire engines, to combat the flames. One of the turning points in halting the spread of the fire was the creation of fire breaks. These involved intentionally demolishing buildings in the path of the fire to create gaps that would prevent its advance. By creating these gaps, the fire was contained and prevented from leaping across to new areas. The destruction of buildings to create fire breaks was a necessary sacrifice to save the rest of the city. Another significant factor in containing the fire was the change in wind direction on September 4th. As the winds shifted, they blew the flames back onto areas that had already burned, effectively quelling the fire's progress. The combined efforts of firefighting and favorable weather conditions eventually brought the fire to an end on September 6th, 4 days after it began. Amid the chaos and devastation of the Great Fire of London, there was one infamous figure who played a role in perpetuating fear and adding to the tragedy. Robert Hubert, a Frenchman, falsely confessed to starting the fire and became a scapegoat for the disaster. Hubert, a mentally unstable man, was arrested and brought before the authorities. He confessed to throwing a fireball into the bakery on Pudding Lane, where the fire was believed to have originated. Despite the glaring inconsistencies in his confession and the lack of evidence against him, Hubert was convicted of arson and executed. This wrongful conviction and execution of Hubert served as a reminder of the hysteria and desperation that gripped London during the aftermath of the fire. The intense fear and desire for justice led to the persecution of innocent individuals, diverting attention from the true causes of the fire and hindering the pursuit of real solutions to prevent such disasters in the future. In the aftermath of the Great Fire, the city faced the daunting task of rebuilding. The opportunity was seized to reimagine and redesign London's urban landscape. Under the guidance of renowned architect Sir Christopher Wren, the city underwent a transformation. Wider streets replaced the narrow, winding lanes, and new building regulations required the use of brick and stone construction materials instead of wood. These measures aimed to prevent future fires from spreading as rapidly and extensively. Furthermore, the rebuilding process incorporated the introduction of fire safety measures. The Fire of London Act of 1667 mandated the use of non-combustible materials for roofs, such as tiles or slate, and discouraged thatched roofs. Chimney sweeps were licensed and regulated to minimize the risk of chimney fires, which were common at the time. Fire insurance companies also emerged, offering protection against fire-related losses. While it caused immense destruction and suffering, it also became a catalyst for change. The rebuilding process not only transformed London's physical appearance but also laid the foundation for improved urban planning, fire safety regulations, and firefighting services. Lessons learned from the fire continue to influence modern cities in terms of building codes, emergency response, and disaster preparedness. In conclusion, the Great Fire of London was a catastrophic event that left an indelible mark on the city's history. It devastated vast areas of the city, destroying homes, churches, and iconic landmarks. However, the fire also served as a catalyst for positive change, leading to the implementation of new urban planning strategies, the adoption of fire-resistant materials, and the establishment of firefighting institutions. The Great Fire of London remains a testament to human resilience and the capacity to rebuild and emerge stronger from the ashes.